Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Greetings, everyone. Greetings from wherever you are out there in the world. Hello, hello. Thanks for coming in. I have been doing these streams every day, and I'm going to keep doing that. Hey, what's up? Yeah, give me a wave, say hi, let me know where you are watching from. I've been doing these, as I said, every day for a little while. I'm going to keep doing it. But usually I've been doing them earlier in the day, so perhaps I'll reach some folks who are in different time zones now. We shall see. Hey, good to see you. Come on in. Awesome. Lee Ann Miller Batian. Amazing. Fantastic. What's up? Hey, hey, hey. So I'm doing these check-ins for a couple reasons. One, because it's good to check in. Like in this time, we're all searching for community, myself included, community connection. Hello, hello. And I think it's just healthy to come and check in and see how you're feeling. And so I'm going to ask you actually in a moment, how are you feeling? Would love to hear what your response is, and it can be anything, of course. But also just from my life, I was getting ready next week to go on a 40-city book tour, and I was really excited to go and see lots of people in lots of places. And now I'm not, at least for now, and at least not in person. So I'm regrouping a bit and doing a lot more digitally in hopes of connecting with people and just sharing the story a bit of my new book, The Money Tree, which comes out next week. I almost said next month. It is next month, actually, because next month is April, but that starts very soon. April 7th, the book comes out. So I'll talk a lot more about that as it gets closer. But so now I'm regrouping. I'm like, where's the opportunity and the uncertainty for me? Let me scroll up and just see your comments real quick. If I miss some of your comments, it's just because I'm looking at the camera. I always go back afterwards to read everything. So thank you so much for sharing. Been wondering how you are doing, my sweet essentials. I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you in just 1 second, actually. Hope you're doing well. Good. I hope you are doing well. Pre-order. Thank you for pre-ordering. So yeah, how are you feeling? That is the question, and feel free to answer however you would like. I think sometimes in these situations we feel some pressure to say a certain thing, and I just want to be clear that it's okay to say, whatever, how you're feeling. If you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling awesome, any answer or any other answer is good, and I will share a little bit of mine. So for me, I actually have been feeling a little bit anxious. And I'm not always, when I feel anxious, I often try to deconstruct it a bit and say, okay, is this situational? Is it more general? Is there something I can do to change it? Or do I just need to sit with it for a while and say, okay, this is, there's lots of reasons to be anxious right now. It's okay to feel anxious. So that's partly where I'm at the moment. In fact, even just right before I came on, I was like, I'm not feeling so great, but let's go on and talk it out, because I'm often encouraging people to find the positive in things, and I do believe that very, very much, that there is, always an opportunity and a challenge. There is always some way to reframe or regroup the situation. But, it's also true that sometimes things are not amazing. So that's kind of where I'm at. Leanne says she's oscillating between awesome and what on earth is going on? Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to that or connect to that right now. Awesome. Thank you for the comments. Oh, thank you so much, Miller Batian. That's awesome. That's very cool. So I wrote a post. I got my laptop here. I wrote a post that I put on my blog today. I sent it out by email as well, if you get my email. The second best thing you can do right now. Just thought I would talk this through. My sweet essentials, feeling a bit scared, but also very hopeful about our planet healing. I think I'm hearing some perspectives like that from different people, and it's always interesting to what is the deeper level here? We have our primary level, our primary response, and then what is actually happening a little bit deeper, whether it is, in the world of entrepreneurship, self-reliance, et cetera, or, the holistic world, or just kind of the logistics of getting around these days and finding ourselves and so on. How's it going? Oscar from Success from Books. Hey, what's up? Waves of inspiration and panic. Yep, totally. I think you said that before, Jen. So I feel that way still since last week. Sad about not meeting you in Detroit, dude. I'm so sad too, man. I was looking forward to Detroit in particular. Always have such a great community there. So hopefully we'll get a chance at some point, and if not, virtually. So I wrote this post, the second best thing you can do right now, and kind of my perspective here is okay, if you're out there and you're wondering what to do, in this time of chaos. and such, the best thing is all the stuff that you already know, right? So assuming you're not, a healthcare worker, a first responder in some way, which if you are, you're probably not watching right now. You're probably like saving lives. So thank you for that. And if you know somebody that's doing that, thank them. But assuming you're not that, then, the best thing you can do is what you already know, is just to be safe and to keep people safe and just kind of wait it out, basically. But, the thing is, that's passive. Like all the things you hear about that is like, oh, you got to wash your hands, you got to refrain from gatherings and such. So to me, the question was, what is the second best thing, that we can do? What can we do? How can we contribute in some way? And, what I was saying is like, the best thing you can do is be safe, but the second best thing you can do is to make something, and to use this time for good. And maybe this is the time you start the project that you have thought about for a long time and haven't done anything with, or maybe it's the time that you finish the project that you started years ago or months ago and haven't done. And so you probably heard or seen the memes about how Shakespeare wrote King Lear and who was it? Not Galileo, Newton. I believe it was Isaac Newton who discovered or had something to do with gravity during the time of the plague when they were all quarantined and locked down and such. And so, if they could do that back then without Instagram, what can we do now? So that's just kind of what I've been thinking, to myself. What am I going to do with it? What am I going to make? So let me see what you guys have said here, and feel free to post a comment or question, observation. It's just a community time. We're going to be doing this every single day for the foreseeable future. I'm also going to start a new series, which I will tell you about soon. I'm excited and scared about it, which tells me it's probably a good thing. It's good to pay attention to what you're scared of. So Calc says, some days I feel lost and consumed with worry, but I find that engaging in something creative or productive helps to cope in the immediate moment. Same. On the upside, I have time to listen to your podcast. Awesome, thank you. Hello from San Bernardino. All right. Any other comments or questions, feel free to say hello. Feel free to say what's on your mind. We can talk about whatever. Adventures of Jessica Lee. How long does it take you to write a book? That's a great question. We could talk about that for a long time because it's not a short answer, but I'll give you a short answer. I would say all things considered, it takes about 9 months-ish, 9 months to a year. But there's lots of different parts of the process. So, there's the origin of the process, the outlining, there's the business side of it, like the, selling and working with the publisher, there's the writing, multiple drafts usually, so multiple drafts on my own, and then working together with my editor and such. Then there's this long, hurry up and wait period because publishers just take forever to do stuff. So you actually finish the book 9 months sometimes before it comes out, or sometimes a year or longer. So that's the general answer to that. Happy to talk about it some more there. How's my daily routine? That's a good question too. We'll talk about that in 1 second. Let's see. Been following you since your first episode. Oh my gosh, thank you. That was, how many days ago was that? 1,100 and something. 1,160, I believe. It was December 1, or January 1, 2017 in any case, and I've done it every day since then. Let's see what else. What is my haircut routine? Yeah, good question. I need to get my hair cut, but that's not going to happen for a while, right? Bezonato, so many things to reframe, organize, and do at the same time. How to not get overwhelmed at this time with a lot of things to do. Yeah, I mean, if you figure it out, let me know. What I was saying a few minutes ago, for those who've just come in, I was actually feeling kind of anxious today and feeling a little bit like, okay, my book comes out in 8 days. I'm behind on this project, I'm behind on this, and what do I need to do? I feel overwhelmed. So it happens to me too. I do try to triage a bit and prioritize, and then maybe it's a combination of productivity and also taking a step back and saying, okay, what's really going on? What am I feeling right now? What do I need right now? So the combination of those two things is usually my answer for myself. Cheers from Brazil. What's up? For those who know how to farm, can teach others how to farm in a small area. That'd be great. I don't know how to farm myself, so you're going to have to do that. Create solutions that help improve the body's immune system. Yes, excellent, excellent. All right, we'll do a couple more questions. So Louise said, how is my daily routine? It's kind of like writing a book. We could talk about it for a long time. Maybe as we go forward with these check-ins, each one can have a little bit more of a focus. But mostly I just want to kind of be here and chat for anybody who wants to and know what's going on with you. This is like, you are my community. Like, I've been making stuff for years, and I feel very fortunate that people actually care about what I do, and that I am able to make a living as an author and podcaster. So I'm actually enjoying this a lot. My daily routine, that also tends to vary depending on what season I'm in. Like, for example, I was going to be on the tour next week, and that routine would be extremely different from my routine when I'm writing a book. So when I'm writing a book, I tend to kind of keep to myself. I pretty much do the same things every day. I get up about 6:30 or 7. I have breakfast right away. I like to start working right away because the early morning is usually my peak productive time. And pretty much work a lot, but I enjoy what I do, so I don't worry about like tracking my hours or anything. I try to exercise every day. And then eventually I kind of wind down and go to dinner or something. So that's the short version. I have always found major inspiration from New York. Thank you so much. You're inspiring too. And good morning from Sri Lanka. If I changed my yearly goals since COVID, okay, that's interesting. I don't think so, because I don't have a lot of travel goals at the moment. If this had happened years ago when I was trying to go to every country in the world by a certain deadline, that would not have been, optimal. But these days, I'm not as focused on, lots of crazy travel. So I don't think most of that has changed. But I'll have to think about that. That's a good question. You think it's possible to still start side hustles during this epidemic? Oh my gosh, I think it's actually more than possible. That's what my new series is going to be all about, basically, like the opportunity in this time. I think it's essential, first of all, and I think this is a time in which everybody's seeking something. The world is turned upside down. When that happens, priorities change, shifts are made. There's like new demand in different areas. There are winners and losers in the economy, just like, whenever there's progress or disruption. So yes, I think it's absolutely possible. And I'm already hearing lots of stories from people who are kind of thinking differently about, how to respond and engage in this time. And I take inspiration from that too. So these chats and emails I get from people are very helpful to me and very motivating. So, hey, Grace. Hey, from Edinburgh. What's up? Yeah, thank you for asking a question. That's good. Okay, so we'll do a couple more minutes here. If anybody has a comment, how are you feeling? Feel free to let us know. Any answer is okay. And if you have any other questions or something you can contribute, and then I'll sign off, but I'll be back again tomorrow. Did you say when this new series will start? Great question. I may change my answer because I always be very honest with you. I was hoping to start it Wednesday, and I'm a little afraid to do that. So it's going to start it's going to start by the time my book comes out, which is in 8 days. So it will be at least, by then, if not sooner. So I'm partly like figuring out some logistics, and partly that's an excuse, partly that's like a way to defer what I really need to do. I think oftentimes when we have something we need to do, then we find all kinds of prerequisites for it. Like, oh, I can't do that until I do this, right? And that allows us to kind of put that thing off. And so I think I'm doing that a little bit. But I won't be able to do it for very long, so that's good. How much is too much when engaging in side hustles? Not sure. I guess it depends on what you mean, if you're talking about money or something else. I missed the beginning. I haven't actually talked about the new series. It's more like something that is evolving as we go. So I will do a full-on, legit announcement soon. This is not like a paid thing or anything like that at all. This is just more sharing, essentially, sharing and storytelling. So that's what that will be. Looking forward to reading your new book. Yes, you're amazing. Aries in nature. I'm an Aries too, by the way. The new book is The Money Tree. It comes out a week from tomorrow. Finding the fortune in your own backyard. Very excited about it. Very excited to share stories with you, hear what you're working on, and just kind of build community as we go. So whatever you're feeling, whatever you're up to, obviously you're not alone. The one good thing about all this is that we are in it together. And so be sure to stay safe, take care of yourself. Do I do everything by myself? We'll talk about all this stuff more in the next stream. Do I have a virtual assistant? I have a couple people that I'm fortunate to work with, but I don't have a big team. I don't have a lot of employees. I don't want to do that. I'm not good at being a manager or a boss and such. So Brian says, thank you very much for your podcast and books. The community is an inspiration. Thank you very much for saying that. The community is an inspiration to me as well. I did read the Audible version, yes, of the new book. It was a lot of fun. And this is going to be my last 2 comments to respond to. We'll do more tomorrow. Traveling to 193 countries was a lot of work. Was it worth it in the end, or looking back, would you have preferred to go to the greatest hits? Wonderful question. Yes, it was absolutely worth it, 100%. It doesn't mean that I loved every country the same. Like, there are some greatest hits, as you said, but the thing about it is, you can always go back somewhere, right? You can, like, if you go somewhere you like, then, at least, once the travel ban and such is over, you can always go back. So I'm very glad that I did it. It was very good. Yay, thank you so much. I'm going to order your book. Too bad you won't be here in Los Angeles. Well, you know what? I will be at some point, and I'm going to be here every day in lots of other forums as well. So thank you so much for watching. I'll do it again tomorrow. Take care of yourself and be well.